Hey everybody, welcome back to LettermenRow.com and Birminology. I am Jeremy Birmingham. Today's episode is a kind of a turn, I guess, for the website to really start to begin focusing on the class of 2022 as the contact period around the country opened up for that group last week. And so I wanted to welcome in one of Ohio State's top priorities in that class, Caden Curry from Center Grove High School in Indiana. Kaden, thanks for taking time to get on the show. I know that you've had a busy couple weeks getting back to school, getting back to football. How are you?
Good. Thanks for letting me be on. I've been pretty good. Everybody's been healthy around here, so it's been pretty much a blessing, pretty much.
You know, I'll just start with the basics here, Kaden. You're a kid that plays defensive end. You've been recruited by Ohio State pretty aggressively now for the last 6-7 months or so, when a lot of kids in your class weren't. So, I mean, they got a head start kind of in getting to know you a little bit. What is it about Ohio State and the relationship you have with them that is maybe a little bit different right now than others?
I would have to say definitely this. All the coaches always interact with me. They always try to call me once a week. They're always just there for me, and they've always just been more than all the other colleges.
Have they given an indicator of why that is? Like, what does Ohio State see in you that makes it so, I don't know, so important for them to make you a part of this class?
I don't know. I just think they like how I play fast, and I just always just attack the ball and then just play relentless, honestly.
You live south of Indianapolis, not far from there, which Ohio State considers technically part of their home region. It's basically it's a 3-hour radius around Columbus that they consider, I guess, home. But you do have family ties to Ohio. What type of roots are there in the Buckeye State for you and your family?
Actually, my mom's side of the family, she has some family over there that lives over there now, and all my grandparents, they went to every Rose Bowl game. They loved all of it, and so they've just been over there for a while now.
As a kid growing up, I mean, were you a Buckeyes fan, or did you know that you were going to play football, so you didn't really spend a lot of time liking one specific school?
I mean, I never really liked one specific school. I just watched all the great players play when I was watching it, and I mean, honestly, I just didn't really have one.
Now we're talking about Ohio State, and it's sort of turned into defensive line U, especially on the edge rushers, like with the position you play. How is the impact of Larry Johnson something that you feel in your recruitment now? And what is it about his legacy, I guess, that has caught your attention so early?
I mean, honestly, just looking at the players that he coached, what he taught all of them, how they're getting to the next level, and they're really just showing how dominant they are on the defensive side, on the ball, and how they just get back there so fast.
Is there one of those recent Buckeyes defensive ends that you see more of yourself in, or that you sort of emulate more than any others?
I mean, I just kind of see myself kind of like the closest. I play fast and just aggressive off the ball.
Those guys have turned out okay.
Yeah.
So, you know, when you're watching that, I mean, how hard is it to separate, you know, what Larry Johnson does with Nick and Joey Bosa, who are, you know, first round top 5 picks, and saying, okay, this is how it translates to me? Like, I mean, is that part of the conversation? Is he able to show you that in film work, or how does that relationship develop? Because it can't just be, hey, Kaden, I did this with Joey, I can do this with you.
I mean, he just shows me some pointers that the mistakes that they made, mistakes that I make, and how it kind of just comes all together, how we kind of just play the same. We all just play fast, and we just go for the ball.
Have you ever been on campus at Ohio State? I mean, I know at this point, obviously you lost an important summer of your recruitment. Had there been any other opportunities when you were younger to be there, you know, with family or anything like that?
I mean, I have not yet been there, so I'm hoping to get there soon, right when everything opens up. It's probably going to be one of the top ones on my list to get there first.
Who else are you hearing from the most? I mean, I know that there, you know, recently Clemson's gotten involved. Notre Dame, obviously, in Indiana is a big one. Who are you really? I'm not asking you to tell any state secrets here. But who really is in that upper echelon for you when it comes to, again, what you're talking about when recruiting gets reopened? Ohio State's one of those spots, but where else do you feel like, hey, I got to get here?
I mean, I've talked to many colleges, but I mean, Oregon always tries to talk to me. Florida, Clemson, Carolina, and Stanford, and like Notre Dame, they're always just hitting me up constantly and just always wanting to build a relationship, which I really enjoy.
Is there any desire on your part to like leave the Midwest, or do you not care about that?
I mean, I'm pretty free, open to it. I mean, I'll go anywhere to play as long as, I mean, if they're going to improve me on and off the field, I don't see no distance factor in it.
Right now, Ohio State's 2022 class has 6 commitments, which is the second most in the country. Only LSU has more. It's the number 2 ranked class, according to the 247 Sports Composite. Of that group, 4 of them are defensive players, including 3 linebackers. How much conversation has there been with you and CJ Hicks, with Gabe Powers, with Tassan McCullough? I mean, is there any sort of relationship that's being built yet with you and those dudes?
I mean, yeah, we text a lot. We DM each other on Instagram. We're always talking about each other. We're always just trying to see what's up with each other, always just getting to know each other better.
Is it sort of like hard to separate for you between who's really trying to, like, you know, get to know you and who's just trying to recruit you?
Definitely. You can definitely tell the coaches what you're just trying to tell you what you want to hear, and coaches actually just try to build a relationship and just want to really get to know you. So
a week, you know, on September 1st, how many phone calls and text messages do you think you got from college coaches?
I woke up with about 100 text messages the next day.
And is that, I mean, so is that 20 schools, 5 coaches each? Is everybody employing that tactic of, you know, everyone on the staff text this kid, or is it 50 schools? I mean, how do you think that broke down?
I think it was about somewhere around 20 schools and about, I'd say, a couple coaches from each one.
I mean, I don't even want to say, because I know, you know, I talked to you on that day as well. And the media, you have all the schools that people are knowing are reaching out, and then you have the media that covers each of those schools reaching out. How hard is it to just be a 16-year-old kid trying to go to school?
Definitely. I mean, it can get really hard. I get pulled out of class a lot just to talk to coaches. So, I mean, it honestly is, I mean, I love it, but I just try to be myself and when I can do it, I do it later. I just try to stay in my life and do what I do normally, and then that's just an extra.
What is Caden Curry doing to get away from football and recruiting? What do you do when you have free time?
I mean, I can play Xbox, hang out with friends, and we can just do all kinds of stuff. We go play golf, we can go play some hoops, we just do whatever.
I mean, you're in Indiana. Everyone expects you to play basketball.
Oh, right?
Yeah. Are you a good golfer?
I mean, I just started this summer because that's really the only thing you could do since COVID came out. I mean, it's the only really sport you could do.
What have you learned about yourself as an athlete from playing golf?
Definitely that I'm not patient, and I just like to get out and play. No
broken clubs yet? You haven't snapped one over the knee?
I mean, I broke 2 drivers swinging them, not over the knee.
When I was your age, I worked in like a golf retail store, and so we'd have people that would come in, and then you'd measure the swing speed and all that stuff. Have you tried that? Have you gone and gotten like your swing speed measured to make sure that you're swinging a club that is suitable for someone of your 6'5", 230-pound size?
I mean, I just found the strongest one, the stiffest shaft I could find, honestly.
What's the furthest ball you've hit? Have you figured that out?
No, not yet. I need to.
I'm sure you've seen like all the top golf videos, like Mike Trout and those guys on the internet. Did that inspire you? Was that like, hey, I should just go out and do this, or what?
I mean, yeah, because I played baseball growing up all my life too. So, I mean, when I saw that, I just thought, if they can do it, I might as well try.
What did it feel like getting back on the football field? Obviously, this summer was nuts. You know, Indiana is allowing you guys to play, which is great. A lot of schools in the area don't have that opportunity. How did it feel to just get back to football? And what improvement did you see from the end of sophomore season to game 1 in junior year?
Honestly, just my coach, Coach Moore, he helped me out a lot. He'd always have us doing conditioning and speed drills. Even if we weren't there, he'd always give us a little format to do at home or wherever we could find it best. But, I mean, he honestly just helped us out a lot, getting our strength and our speed up.
Do you think that having to adjust what you had to do for school and then how you had to work with football in the middle of this pandemic may actually serve like to help you guys down the road in your class? Because you've had to now adjust in a way that no other class has ever really been forced to. And maybe it changes the way that learning is done in the future. I mean, has there been a part of this that you think maybe will help you as far as learning how to deal with difficult times?
I mean, definitely, it definitely shows your work ethic, what you're doing when people aren't watching you, and just working to get better on your own and not having to have somebody watching you do everything that you do.
So in the last week, your recruitment obviously is going to start to take off because that's what happens after September 1st. There's going to come a day when this gets really annoying to you. Do you start to think about, okay, I want to break this down and narrow it down to 5 schools by this date, a decision by this date, or are you just going to kind of let it ride? Because clearly new schools are going to keep trying to get involved. But at some point, you're in a position where you have to say, I have to focus on this, or I'll never be able to break it down.
I mean, I'm going to have to tell some coaches that, I just really have no desire to come look out there. But, always trying to keep the relationship with every coach because, honestly, it's not their fault that they're at that school. It's just somewhere I just don't really see myself. But, I really like to visit a lot of places before I make the decision of how many schools I want to look into.
At a place like Ohio State, I guess my question, I've talked to people there. The expectation from some is that there may not be visits until December. Others, are hopeful that it can happen in October.
Mm-hmm.
What is a recruit hearing? Like, what are you hearing from schools around the country? Are they trying to keep you optimistic? Are they trying to be realistic and say, hey, we just don't know? What's the messaging?
Most of them pretty real. They just say they don't really know what's happening because they don't either know when they're starting their season. So it's kind of they just let me know that they'll let me know right when it opens up.
Is that incredibly difficult for you, or is the fact that stuff like FaceTime and Zoom calls and that exists, has it made it easier than you would have thought, considering how important the summer between your sophomore and junior year usually is?
Zoom's definitely helped. I talked to many coaches on Zoom. They've showed me a lot about their facilities all online, and it definitely helped a lot.
Where do you see this ending for you? How do you see this ending for you, I guess, Caden? And I'll end it there for this conversation. Draw a picture for me of the ideal scenario from here until the day you enroll in college.
I'm definitely hoping to everything open up. I find all the places I want to be and just try to shorten down my decision and then try to pick from there and maybe go on a second visit, see what I see about it, see how I feel, and then try to make a decision after that.
Well, look, we really appreciate you taking time. I know that you're a busy guy, and for Buckeyes fans out there watching this, Kaden, again, is one of those players that you're going to hear a lot about over the next 2 years because he is at the very top of the current wish list for the Buckeyes when it comes to the defensive end position. Caden Curry, Center Grove High School. I'm Jeremy Birmingham. Thanks for watching this episode of Birminology, everyone. We'll catch you next time.